Oh, busy day.
Miss Kim, you tell us when you're ready to start, okay?
This is Natalie and Joe, right?
Jerry.
Close enough.
Jerry.
Oh, we have a couple of Joes, like Joseph.
Joseph Dunlop, Joseph
see?
Fitzgerald.
I can't keep them all. You guys might have to find a different initial to have to start with.
That's what I do. I call one of them Dr. J, one of them,
He called Joe by
Dr.
Dunlop,
J, yeah,
by
yeah.
his last name, Dunlop.
I think we're ready. Just waiting for Marcy. They might have a lot of questions. Just
That's fine.
heads up.
That's
Okay.
fine.
They tend to ask a lot of questions.
All right.
But we'll see.
Well, we'll try to answer.
Right here? Yes. Is it going to mess up? She's got the one. Oh, you have one.
She's got one.
Okay.
Do you need to use that?
Okay, we're gonna get started. Can you get in, take your seats. Our schedule is really tight today, so I'm sorry. We just have to stay right on schedule. We've got a lot going on. So I'm gonna let Kim introduce, our ESS presenter.
This is our new ESS team that's going to be helping us get our new substitute system all up and running. It's just about there. It's pretty much there. We're just waiting for emails or links so you can make your passwords and get onto it. But this is Natalie and this is Jerry, and they're going to take over from there.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Well, let's try it one more time, okay? I like loud. Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go. So I'm Natalie Williams. I'm the Senior Regional Manager. I oversee Northern Utah and Colorado for ESS. And this is Jerry Stark. He's our account manager, and he will be helping with Box Elder. And then we'll be bringing on a support specialist who will also help. So today we're going to go over just a little bit about ESS, and we're going to talk all about the frontline system, which some people also call the asset management. Most of you should have a booklet, or there should be 2 or 3 booklets on a table. On one side is going to be your campus user guide. Okay, and behind that is going to be your quick start guide, and that's going to show you how you can get a hold of Jerry or I, along with some of the things that we want to keep in mind. And then currently we do have a oh, I'm so sorry. And then we have also right now going on an enhanced referral program where you get $200 per referral through August 31st. So just a little bit about ESS. We focus exclusively on K through 12 education. Currently, we serve more than 1,200 districts across the country. We have more than 100,000 paraprofessionals and substitutes. For our company, we place approximately 35,500 placements a day. Last year in my region, for one district, we placed 64,000 substitutes in 1 year. So we have a pretty experienced team. We service and support over 8.5 million students for continued continuity in the classroom and to have a positive impact on student achievement. And we do have strong community involvement. You'll see Jerry out in the community, sometimes going to parades, sometimes going to tournaments. Sometimes we do events in the community as well. So you'll see Jerry out there along with lanyard signs as well. So Jerry will be reaching out to see if we could put a sign at your yard or give black flyers to go with in the students' backpacks to recruit students. So here in Utah, under my district, under my leadership, we partner with 5 school districts, and we supported 167,000 number of students. We supported 200 schools statewide. We had 18, with the 18 team members I have, it adds up to 150 years of combined experience. We filled 115,000 assignments during our last school year, and we had a 98% fill rate across the board. Oops, we're going backwards here, I'm sorry. So Jerry, I think he went somewhere. He stepped out, it looks like, for a few minutes. So Jerry's going to talk a little bit about our absent management, which is the packet that you have that is stapled. Everybody's familiar with absent management in here. We call it frontline too, right? Okay. So you should be getting they may have went out Thursday or Friday, and I can confirm, I'm sorry, I was on vacation, so, but they may have went out on Thursday or Friday, your email to get into Frontline. It is gonna be from Frontline. You do wanna check your spam or your junk mail because sometimes it goes there, okay? One of the things that you do wanna remember is that even though most of us are familiar with Frontline, one of the things that we do want to remember is because we built out ESS built a full system for Box Elder. So even though you may have used it in the past, you have to log in like register like you're a brand new user. So you'll need to put in your email address as well as your whatever you want to use as a password. Okay, so that's going to all be on page 2 of your booklet. It says signing in, and it's going to give you step-by-step instructions and how to sign into that. If at any point in time you have any type of questions in regards to signing in or you didn't get it, please contact me or Jerry. On the other side of your packet, there's something called a user's guide, a quick reference guide. It has both Jerry and I's name and number on it. And so now, Jerry's going to talk a little bit about absence management and what it's going to look like from the campus user view. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, but we're going to go through it. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to stop us and we will go ahead and go through it.
Okay, so when you sign in, you should see this dashboard. It'll have the date. It'll have your total absences. No sub required is on there. And then you have like your filled and your unfilled. And of course, the unfilled is the primarily one that we're going to want to look at to try to get those positions filled. So that's going to be your view when you log in.
On page 2 is creating an absence that you have in your packet. Jerry, do you want to walk us through this?
Okay, so to create an absence, you're going to go to the quick actions bar and section there, and you're going to click on create absence, and then you're going to click on employee, and you're going to bring up the name of that employee that you're putting into absence for, and then you can put them in advance. So like you're going to select your days, the start date and the end date. So if you want to select only that day, for example, it's the same day absence where a teacher's out sick or something like that, you're going to go ahead and put that date in there, and then you're going to select your absence reason. You look there at number 4, it's pointing to the absence reason. You're going to have a drop down menu to put in that absence reason. Now, if there's a date range, again, you can put in that date range. So if they're going to be out for an extended period, you can put that in to that date range and save that. Okay, so creating an absence. It gives you some information down here. It's good to look at the notes. It has a notes section down here. Your notes to the administrator, that would be for the school's use. And it's good to just put in some notes in there, why that absence was created, that kind of thing. You can use that. Then notes to substitutes, this can be really helpful. If you have information that maybe you've got a location for that absence in the building that's unusual, or something like that, you can put in notes as far as where that class is located, that kind of thing, anything that's for the substitute. So again, teachers can do this also. They can put in notes regarding, the lesson plan information, whatever they feel is pertinent that that substitute should know. You're gonna, let's see. So up here at 5, you'll see where it has substitute required, yes or no. So there's a drop down there. If you want a substitute for that position, you're going to obviously select yes. If a substitute is not required, if you're going to fill it in-house or something like that, then you can go ahead and select no. And then you always want to make sure to click at the top. You're going to do review and confirm. And that's what's actually going to generate that absence in the system. So always make sure that you do submit it. Okay, so creating a supplemental. Supplemental absences are done for a couple of reasons, usually for vacancy. So a supplemental, like if you have a teacher who's quit and you need to fill out that job until you get somebody hired, you could create a supplemental or a vacancy absence for that purpose. Also, like if you have meetings, so if there's training meetings and you're going to have a floater that's going to, I don't know if you do that in this district or not, but you do floaters, yeah. So if you want to create a floater absence, then you're going to go in and you're going to create a supplemental for that position. And then in your notes, you're going to indicate probably to the substitute that it's going to be moving from classroom to classroom throughout the day, that kind of thing, just so that they're aware of the situation coming in. Okay, so supplemental is going to be more or less the same as a regular absence. You're going to put in your start date and end date for that. You're going to select the school. So normally you'll just drop down. I think generally it's going to be just the school that you're assigned to there that you're going to see under the school. It is going to have vacancy type. You can select full day, or you can or half day for that, or you can put in like custom hours. So if you want to customize it, if it's not a full day or a half day, you can actually customize it. You can put in the hours of the actual start and stop time that you're going to use for that absence. Okay, and again, supplementals are pretty important to put in some notes. Just you want to note why that supplemental was created, whether it was for a vacancy absence or, what the purpose was of that. So in box 5, there you want to put in the admin notes, as far as why that supplemental was created. And then again, you want to create notes for the substitute if there's information that they need to know regarding that absence. Always make sure that you review and confirm. And those can be modified, so if you do something wrong, if the hours aren't right or the dates aren't right or whatever, you can always go back and you can change that and save it. Okay, so canceling an absence. So the system always generates a confirmation number. So you can always, your substitutes and your teachers and the schools, they can always refer to this confirmation number when it comes to modifying or canceling an absence. Okay. So when you go to cancel an absence, basically you're going to click on the absence that you're going to cancel. It's going to give you a drop-down view of that absence, and there's a delete button, and you can just go and you can delete that absence. Okay. So your teachers and your staff should be able to delete their own absences. They should be able to do that as well. So, I would encourage you to, as much as possible, get your people used to entering their own absences and deleting those and taking care of those, so it takes weight off of you. You don't want to be doing all of this. So they do have the option, and we have a user guide for the we have a user guide for the teachers and staff. So I can share that with them, or you can share that with them, that document that's going to detail how they can go in and do this for themselves. Okay. Preferred list. So teachers have the options, and schools have the option to create like preferred lists. So for example, I'm sure many of you have teachers that like specific substitutes, and they want them to come in and manage their class in their absence. So they can go in and they can create preferred substitutes. Okay. So let's see. Number one, they're going to go under the school. They're going to click on preferred substitute, and they're going to go to this drop down where it says administration annex or school name. They're going to click on that, and they're going to come up with a preferred substitutes menu. Okay. So what you want to do, once you get to this page, the preferred substitutes, you're going to click on add substitute, and then it'll give you the option to search, and you can search the substitutes that are in the system, and you can find them, and you can add that person to your preferred substitutes.
Jerry, one of the important things to remember about preferred substitutes is that it will go out to, if you put somebody on your preferred substitute list, it will go out to them prior to going out to anybody else, so that they have the option to select it first. You want me to take this one?
You want to do the report?
Yeah. So the nice thing about absent management is you all will have the opportunity or the availability to run any type of reporting that you want it to run as well. So you can run a summary on what's the absence monthly summary. You can run that on anytime that you want. All you have to do is put in the preferred dates that you'd like to see, and you can see what absences took place, what were filled, who put in absences, etc. And then you can also run an absence approval status. So if you wanted to see where the approval statuses were at any given time, you can certainly look up that as well. We do have an interactive absence report, so that's going to give you more in detail. Like if you wanted to go back maybe last month and run a report to see what it was, or if you wanted to go and see what absences are until the end of the year, that gives you the capability to see any absences in the system at any given time. And it's really a nice report to use. I use the daily report almost every day. At the beginning of the day, I want to know where the absences are, where we still need to get them filled, and that type of thing. And sometimes Jerry will get calls and say, hey, I want to use this substitute over here and adjust. And Jerry is available to make those corrections or those edits for you as well. So it is a really good function to use, especially if you're looking to see what's going on your schools. So when you pull up the report, you're going to see several. You can have a dashboard, but then you're also going to receive several reports, absences setting. You can definitely go into, it's actually called Report Writer in the system, and you can actually go in and view data, like I said, as you'd like to. If you want to look at who created the absence, it's going to tell you who created it, what date and what time it was created as well, which a lot of our schools use that function. This is what your daily report is going to look like. So when you pull it up in the morning, it's going to tell you how many you have filled, how many are still unfilled, and what your percentage rate is. And then it's going to give you detail underneath. If you wanted to see the detail of what was unfilled, you can certainly run that daily report, and it's going to give you the detail of what's unfilled. Jerry looks at that on a daily basis. And then, anybody have any questions on absent management or frontline so far? All right, let's go over to the ESS resources page. So once you get your logins for frontline, 48 hours after you get those logins, you should be able to go in anytime now. You're going to be able to go on to ESS.com. There's going to be a field there that says resources. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and register for this. You're gonna have your email address, the same one that you use for Frontline, and you're gonna use your password. You wanna click New Register when you first go in. This is gonna be where you are going to find such things as incident reporting or select a long-term. If you wanna request a long-term, this is where you're gonna do it. So when you go into the system, the first thing that you're going to see is a column that says information. And the substitutes will also see this, but it's going to tell you if they get injured, they need to fill out an injury report. We have 24 hours, 3 days, 24 hours. We have 24 hours to report that injury. So if a sub were to get injured at one of the schools, if they're able to, they're going to contact Jerry, fill out the injury report. If they're hurt pretty bad, they're going to go ahead and seek medical treatment and then get in the injury report. The second one is the paycheck payroll system. That's going to show how we use a company called Paycheck, and we get paid every Friday. The substitutes get paid. I don't get paid every Friday, although I wish they did. But the substitutes get paid every Friday. Their first paycheck is 2 weeks in arrears. Okay, so it's always 2 weeks in arrears, but they get paid every Friday. So if a sub doesn't teach for a week, they're not going to get paid. Every sub has received or will be receiving the schedule for the payout. But it's also located on ESS resources. The other thing is the employee handbook. That's what you're going to see when you go in there too. It is the employee handbook for our substitute teachers. And then of course we have substitute FAQs. The perks, that's where you're going to find a refer a friend. Any citizen in the United States can actually participate in a refer a friend program. We currently have them going on until August 31st, and it's an enhanced referral program that you get $200 per anybody who is referred starts, and I think it's worth 25 assignments. They will be paid out $200 as long as they're eligible, they complete the requirements, and as long as the individual fills out that form. There is no cap on it. In one of my school districts, I had a secretary earn $1,400 prior to Christmas.
Can I just say something, ma'am?
Absolutely.
So regarding the Refer a Friend program, it's a great program. Like Natalie was saying, there's a lot of people. There's admins like yourselves that go ahead and refer people all the time, and they make that money. Just make sure that anybody that's going to use that Refer a Friend program, that they do fill out that form first. Okay, so fill out the form and then have the person apply online and just make sure that you get paid. Okay, so that's important to make sure you get that form completed.
Thank you, Jerry. We also have a marketplace. This is where individuals can go and get various discounts from vendors. Their health benefits will also be shown here. At ESS, substitutes are eligible to receive health benefits. And it is tiered, so it really depends on what tier that they select in regards to their health benefits, but they are eligible to receive those. They're also eligible to receive 401k 90 days after their start date. We allow tuition reimbursement. We actually are partners with Grand Canyon University, and they offer us tuition reimbursements or discounts for our substitutes. They also provide professional learning formats every month for the substitutes. So substitutes can enroll in their professional development free of charge every month. And then we also provide training guides. So every substitute has to go through a 5-hour training unless you are a licensed substitute or you've been with the district. Any new substitute has to do a required 5-hour training that ESS actually puts on. Generally, they're from our districts. For example, Ogden, the Ogden one actually worked in the Ogden School District. We have one in another one that used to be a superintendent in the school district. So we do try to recruit those learning specialists from the district. We provide our training guides here. Any substitute can get on here and get the training guide. We have paraprofessional training guides, substitute teacher training guides, food nutrition, bus aid. So we do offer a number of training guides there. Then we have what is called a GCN training online format. You know what that is? I see you shaking your head. We offer over 200 subjects in where our substitutes can go on there and learn about different things such as class management, bullying, etc. Same things with tips and reminders. We send tips and reminders out every week as well. Now, the really cool thing is the packets that you receive there are also going to be under the tools where it says Frontline Absent Management. Those packets or those how to create an absence, how to cancel an absence, all that is going to be underneath your front absent tool guide. Okay. We have systems and tricks. The district pay rates are listed there as well. So this is kind of where we go to find all the resources. But once again, you can always contact Jerry or I, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Let's talk a little bit about incident reports. An incident report, let's say a substitute shows up late or they leave early, which we don't encourage, right? But it happens. Let's say they show up late or they leave early, or there's an incident in the classroom, or maybe you just don't feel that it's a good fit for that classroom. You can submit what is called an incident report. And this is in ESS Resources 2. It's under I believe it's under the tools. And here's the thing that we all have to remember. We really need the schools to submit the incident report. If it's an extenuating situation where Jerry and I have to enter it, we're more than happy to do so. But for our HR team, we need the schools to submit it, no matter how small or large it is, because here's what happens. Let's say they show up to your school late, right? And we don't document it. We're kind of like, come on, just, get it together, sir. But then let's say they go to another school and they're late again, and it's not documented. We have to document every single time, because what will happen is Jerry will call them to find out what happened, and then we will submit it into the incident report. And if it comes to the point where you have the schools have the option to block them, retrain them, or block them from the school, block them from the district, or retrain them. Our account managers are always talking to them and training them and speaking with them, but we just need your help in making sure it's documented in there.
Natalie, can I say something? Okay, so when you write up these incident reports, I would recommend that if you have a teacher, for example, and let's say a substitute didn't follow the lesson plan, came into the classroom and didn't follow the lesson plan correctly and didn't give the students the information that they were supposed to, you could have that teacher write up that. Maybe they could send you an email if you were the one to submit that incident report. Just have them do that description. And we want a pretty good description of what happened in the classroom. what exactly are we submitting this for? So that when our HR team is working with them as far as retraining, they'll know precisely, what happened, have a good picture of what went on, and they can use that for their retraining.
Thank you, Jerry. So now I'm going to let Jerry talk a little bit about long-term requests. All long-term requests must be submitted by the campus user or the secretary. Unfortunately, teachers do not have the ability to submit a long-term request. Long-term requests are anything that is 10 days or more. And I'm going to let Jerry talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, so long-term requests, they do happen now and then. Sometimes you'll have a teacher out on FMLA, for example, or maybe they're out of town for an extended period, whatever the case may be. Anything over 10 days in this district, you want to put in a long-term absence. So, for example, if they're going to do an FMLA, you want to make sure that you get the correct information so that you can submit that information. You're going to put in the school, the employee, the position type, the grade level, or the subject if they're in secondary school. Position primary, that would be their main job. So if they're a high school math teacher, you're going to put that there, or first grade teacher, for example. Make sure you put in the start time, which is the day the absence begins. The end time is the day the absence ends. It's important also to put in the start time. So like the start time that the school starts, and the end time is going to be also, you're going to put in the end time. So you're going to have the dates from to, and then you're going to have the start. So the beginning of the day, and then the end of the day on the last day of that absence. You can recommend a candidate. So if the teacher already has somebody in mind that they want to put in there, they can select that individual here for your candidate, and they'll be the primary one. They just want to make sure that you check with that person that's going to be doing the absence, and that it's agreed that that's going to be their person. So make sure that the teacher, if they want to select somebody for that class, that the individual is aware that they have that obligation. Absence reason. I'm not sure what your different codes are here or what your different absences are, but for example, your absence reason could be, sickness. If you're just going to be out sick, you can go ahead and put that in. If FMLA is a reason here, go ahead and select FMLA as the absence reason for that absence. And you can actually kind of piggyback them if you're going to have a person that's out for a certain reason from a beginning date, for example, and then they're going to go on to another type of absence. So if they start out as sick and then they're going to go to FMLA, you can put that information in there. You can actually have multiple absence reasons.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you go in and, like, I already know I have a teacher that's, can I go put that in and then alter the dates if I have a person already planned to cover that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Asking on her question, I know in the past, those dates were all encompassing in one job, and let's say that particular sub had to be out for a couple days because they got sick, we needed to split that absence and put another sub in there. How does that work here? Is it all one big job and you have to split those days out, or?
Typically, you're going to assign it to one individual, and if they're not going to cover all the days, then you just split those other days out and have somebody else pick those up.
And if you need any assistance with it, Jerry can also assist you with splitting. He can just call and tell him that you need him to split it out. So each month, ESS recognizes an employee or substitute of the month. If you go to this, if you have a really good substitute, we just ask that you do submit recognition for them. And every month we select a substitute of the month. With that substitute, they are also then eligible for what we call the Impact Award. We give the Impact Award once a year. This year, my region won it. I was so happy. but the sub won $5,000, and then he chose his school of choice and they won $2,000. And it all comes off of your recommendations. So if you have a good sub, please, we just ask that you recognize them, so they have the opportunity to win as well.
Then, a large reason why they select that individual is based on your input. So if you're gonna fill that out, if you have a substitute of the month that you wanna put in for the award, make sure you say why. You know, what did they do that was awesome, and be, you know, pretty detailed on that, and because that does make a difference as far as the selection on those awards.
So here is the contact information. It is also, you have the quick sheet with the same information on it. We do have a support system in Oregon, and love them to death. But you're probably going to get a response quicker from our local team. So Northern Utah at ESS.com. That is an email that is open 24/7. And somebody will get back to you as soon as possible. You can always text Jerry, or you can email Jerry, or you can text me as well. I would recommend that Jerry's probably going to get back to you quicker than I do, because he's the expert and kind of just tells me what to do. So you're probably going to get a better response from him. And then we also have our regional, who is Joseph Fitzgerald, who will be coming out here in the near future as well. We do. So you're gonna, I would say call Jerry or me. We start at 5:30 in the morning. So generally, if you have an issue, we can.
If you could, my preferred contact method is email. I'm on my computer like at 6 in the morning, and I'm, you know, scanning to see what the absences are, to make sure that those are filled. So if you'll shoot that to me in an email, I'm right in front of my computer anyway, and I'm constantly checking email, and I have a written kind of guide of
But don't be afraid to text him. Text him or call him.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. Do we have any questions? Hopefully, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So if we have a para and they need a sub, they could go in and it will let them choose who they want, or just send a para in for them. Is that right?
Yeah, so the teachers can still, if they have a certain sub that they would like to put in there, they can, as long as that sub's
And
available.
also the paras.
Same thing with paras.
Anybody bus,
Mhm. Works the same for everybody.
Yeah,
They can
parents
certainly
have
go
that
in.
option too.
Mhm.
they'll get paid through that system. Like we approve the pay through that system.
So what happens is Frontlines, as long as they're assigned into an assignment, our billing system, or our, not our billing system, our system will pick up who is in that assignment, and yes, they will go through for payment on their payroll. Mhm. As long as they are signed up with ESS. If they're not an ESS employee, then we need to peel away the onion and get them signed up. Great question.
Is there a simple?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it took me a while to walk around.
Is there a simple way to tell a previous sub who subbed through Kelly's how to join and use your system?
So we don't have a list of everybody who was with Kelly. So if there's a sub that you know that was with Kelly, I would definitely either give the information to Jerry or have them go on ESS.com and apply. And we are, right now, we just got through with orientations, virtual orientations. This week we'll be doing virtual I-9s. The week of the 12th through the 14th, we will be here on campus to assist anybody who knows. And if you're going to refer them, you better put yourself in the refer a friend. So we are available and can assist, but really they need to go on and apply at ESS.com, pick box elder, and complete the application. Great question. Any other questions? Yeah.
We hope we got everybody, or most everybody that was working for Kelly. they come to you, obviously, we want you to, to refer them to us so they can apply online. We'll try to process them through as quick as we can. I think we've got most of them, but, definitely if they reach out, if they were somebody that has been working for the district, then we want to know that so we can get them.
Yeah, currently we have 150 subs signed up.
So we had, an email would come to us every morning telling us if the jobs were filled or what the jobs were. Will we have that, or we need to go on every morning?
So generally, we do not send the email out every morning for every job that is filled, because it's just, yeah, we'll fill your email out thing up, and then you'll be calling me. So
if you look in that guide, you'll be able to look at your dashboard, and it'll give you a pretty good overview of exactly what's going on there with your absences that day.
any other questions? All right, Ms. Kim, I think that does it for us. Uh-huh.